Hi and welcome back to Yoga Berry, your yoga for scoliosis community. So today we're going to do a practice which works against the rib hump in thoracic scoliosis. And all that you will need for this practice is a chair and a couple of blocks. So if you get everything ready and then join me on the mat. My name is Christine Jareggi-Berry and I'm a yoga teacher for scoliosis, and you can find all my online and offline resources in the description below. So before we start, just a couple of words about the rib hump in thoracic scoliosis. Now the rib hump comes from a rotation in the spine, which is why when we work with this and we work against the rib hump, we want first of all to lengthen the spine, but we also want to derotate it. So that's just what we're going to keep in mind today. The other thing we want to keep in mind that with the rotation, so if we imagine the rib cage rotates back, the shoulder also drops forward. So we want to make sure that this part here, which gets really, really tight, is getting a little bit of a release. So this is my demonstration for a right thoracic curve, which is the most common curvature, which is why my instructions will be for this. So if you have a left thoracic curve, obviously you need to reverse the instructions. So the first pose that we are going to do is a shoulder stretch. And so we've just learned that the right shoulder in a right thoracic curve needs a little bit more space. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the left forearm parallel to the front edge of the mat and then reach the right arm forward. Good. So I would like you to imagine that you're melting the right side of your chest down to the ground a little bit more. And we're just going to hold it for, let's say, about 5 breaths. And then we'll see where we are and see how it feels. So you can really reach through the right fingertips here. Good. Let's take another couple of breaths. And then slowly bringing yourself up. Good. So let's roll the shoulders a couple of times. So you could repeat this on the left side as well. However, you know that your right side with a right thoracic curve needs that little bit more extra. So if you do it on the left side, also come back to the right side again. But for today, we're just going to do this on the right side because I would like you to feel the difference. Good. The next exercise we're going to do is extended puppy pose or extended child's pose, but we're going to use the blocks for this. So I have 2 yoga blocks here. And I have them kind of the medium height, just to begin with. And I'm sitting back on my heels and then reaching the arms forwards. Good. So there's a couple of things that we're going to do now to adjust this. First of all, we want to lengthen the left side a little bit more. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm sliding the left block forwards a little bit more to create a little bit more space. Now, to counter that rib hump, as I mentioned before, it comes from a rotation. I also need to derotate the spine. So I actually need to give the left side a little bit more of a lift. And there's 2 ways to do this. I can either turn this block, the medium side, up, or I could support the front of the left rib cage with a hand towel, for example, so lifting it up a little bit more. But I'm going to work with the blocks today. So I put this the medium height up. You can see it's slightly higher now. Now this derotates the body. So imagine the right side is now dropping a little bit more and the left side is getting a little bit more of a lift. Good. And then from there, I want you to imagine you're breathing into the left side of the rib cage and you're breathing out from the right side. So you're breathing into the left and breathing out from the right. Good. And then slowly bringing yourself up. Good. So this feels really, really good to both lengthen, to stretch, and to de-rotate the spine. Really, really nice pose to practice. So we've got one more to do, and for the next one you will need your chair. Good. So we're coming to sitting on the chair, and we just need one of the yoga blocks today. We'll bring it to the inner thighs here. So notice I have the back of the chair here towards the wall and the legs over to the side. So we're going to twist towards the right side first. So first of all, we're going to lift and lengthen, and you can already kind of try and make a little bit more space on the left side of the rib cage by pulling the right rib cage in. And then from there, we're going to twist towards the back of the chair. Now twisting this way actually takes you further into your rib hump. So I want you to be very conservative with this side. So we don't actually need to do that much here. However, what it's nice for to rotate towards the right is to open that right shoulder. And you will see that the right shoulder blade starts to come in, back and down a little bit. So that's what we want to do. But what we don't want is kind of to pull ourselves further into that rib hump. So always imagine lengthening, right shoulder back and down, and then it's a little bit of a twist. If you also have a lumbar curve, this is the side where you can rotate a little bit more from the left. Good, and then slowly release, and let's do the other side. So let's swing the legs around. Good, so this side now, we are going to de-rotate the rib hump. So you really want to push that right side forward. So let's lengthen first though, always lengthen first, and then turn yourself towards the left. Start to rotate really from the rib cage. So we're bringing the rib cage in. What we don't want to do is also bring the arm over, which would then exaggerate the rib hump here. So we want to keep that right hand maybe even down a little bit more, so you can keep that right shoulder back and down, and then de-rotate. So really moving that rib cage forward, but keeping the shoulder slightly further back. Good. And then slowly release. Good, so that was our little practice today. See how you get on with these poses. You might want to repeat them again for a few days until your body really internalizes them. And I know this is quite complicated, which is why I have my 4 weeks yoga for scoliosis course where we go into much more detail for this. But in the meantime, if you suffer from rib pain, for example, you can check out this video here. It's a really, really good one. And then I also have lots and lots of practice videos for thoracic curvatures. So I hope you enjoyed this practice today, and I'll see you soon for the next video.